Hello, everybody. Coach Brockhoff here. And today we're going to learn about tournaments. Now, there's three types of tournaments that we're going to learn about today. The first is the round robin tournament. Second is the single elimination tournament. And the third is the double elimination tournament. Let's talk about the round robin tournament first. A round robin tournament is when each team plays every other team. If each participant plays each other twice, this is frequently called a double round robin. Now, the term is rarely used when all the participants play one another more than twice, and it's never used when one participant plays others an unequal number of times. This is the case in a lot of major United States professional sports. In the UK, they call a round robin tournament an American tournament. All right, so let's go over how we're going to set up a round robin tournament. Now, the first thing you have to do is assign each team a number. For instance, if Slidell, Mandeville, Montleon, Clearwood, St. Tammany, and Boyette were all in this tournament, we have 6 teams. So we're going to number them all 1 through 6. So Slidell will be 1, Mandeville 2, Montleon 3, Clearwood 4, St. Tammany 5, Boyette 6. And we'll go ahead and just have Team 1 playing Team 2, Team 3 playing Team 4, and Team 5 playing Team 6. All right, so that's the first round. Now for the second round, the number 1 is going to stay in that top left corner. All the other teams are going to rotate clockwise. The 2 would go down, the 4 would go down, 6 would go across, the 5 would move up, and the 3 would go diagonal to the top right. So now the second round, 1 is going to play 3, 5 is going to play 2, 6 is going to play 4. And you will repeat that until you get all your rounds in. Now, how many times do you have to do that? How many rounds would you have? Well, what you would do is subtract the number of total teams in your tournament and subtract 1 from that. Reason being that you're not going to play yourself. So Slidell will play Mandeville, Montleon, Clearwood, St. Tammany, and Boyette, five games. And so you would do this for 5 rounds. And then you have completed your round robin tournament. Now, a round robin tournament is used a lot of times for your regular season also. For instance, all sports teams here, for instance, our football team, they play a round robin tournament for their regular season where they will play every other team in our district one time, and that completes a round robin tournament. All right, so now let's talk about a single elimination tournament. A single elimination tournament is when each team will play until they lose 1 game. Once they lose a game, they are now out of the tournament. It is also called a knockout cup sudden death tournament. And a lot of times, one of the common phrases you hear in single elimination tournaments, if a team loses their first game, they're known as one and done. And some examples of the single elimination tournament would be the football tournaments at the end of the year, the college football playoffs, the NFL playoffs are single elimination. And one of the most famous is March Madness, the college basketball tournament at the end of the year. So let's go through what a single elimination tournament would be. Okay, we have our 8 teams here that are going to play: Slidell, Mandeville, Creekside, Fontainebleau, Clearwood, St. Tammany, Montleon, and Boyette. Well, the winner of each game will move on. So Slidell, Creekside, Clearwood, and Boyette all won. They all move on. The other teams are one and done. And then they will play those 2 games, and Slidell and Boyette win. And so then you have your championship game in which Slidell wins. All right, now a double elimination tournament is the same thing, except now each team will play until they lose 2 games. And so you have a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. If you keep winning, you stay up in the winners bracket. Once you lose a game, you go down to the losers bracket, and you'll play in the losers bracket until you either get back to the championship game or until you lose your second game. And if teams lose the first two games of the tournament, it's known as two in a barbecue. So let's kind of go over what a double elimination tournament would look like. We have our 8 teams again: Slidell, Mandeville, Creekside, Fontainebleau, Clearwood, St. Tammany, Montleon, and Boyette. Well, the first game is Mandeville and Slidell, and Slidell wins that game, so they'll move on to the winners bracket game. The Mandeville team will now go down into the losers bracket. And then the second game is Creekside Fontainebleau. Well, Creekside won. They'll stay up in the winners bracket. Fontainebleau goes down to the losers bracket. Clearwood won their game. They move forward. St. Tammany goes down. Boyette won their game. They move on in the winners bracket. Montleon goes to the bottom. Now, you would now play your losers bracket games. Mandeville, Fontainebleau. The winner stays in the losers bracket. The loser is 2 in a barbecue, and Mandeville wins that game. St. Tammany and Montleon play. St. Tammany wins. Now we go back up to the winners bracket. Slidell plays Creekside. Slidell moves on to the winners bracket. Now when Creekside goes down to the losers bracket, they're now going to go from the top of the winners bracket to the bottom of the losers bracket. They're going to flip. This way they won't play a team that they have already played in the tournament. For example, Clearwood is going to play Boyette. Well, Boyette won. Now Clearwood played St. Tammany the first game. If they would go back down to the bottom of that losers bracket, they would play St. Tammany again. But because they're going to flip, Clearwood now will play Mandeville. All right, your losers bracket game, Clearwood wins, Mandeville is out. St. Tammany won, Creekside is now out. You play your winners bracket game. Slidell moves on. Boyette will play the winner of Clearwood and St. Tammany, with the loser being out, the winner moving on, and that would be St. Tammany. St. Tammany and Boyette play. Boyette wins. And now you get to your championship game. If Boyette were to beat Slidell, they would have to play one more time. That's the dotted line at the end of the bracket. That's called a if necessary game. If Boyette wins, they would have to play one more time because that would be Slidell's first loss. But we all know that Slidell would win that game and they would win the championship. One good example of a double elimination tournament is the College World Series. They play a double elimination in the World Series with the winners of each side playing in a series at the end. Also, the regionals are double elimination tournaments. And then the super regionals is a best of 3 series. So again, our 3 types of tournaments are a round robin, single elimination tournament, and a double elimination tournament. All right, y'all. We're going to see y'all next week when I have another video. And until then, go Tigers.